What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Right folks, I'm just giving the chaserman a quick check over here this afternoon. Hopefully, well, it shouldn't need a lot, just some grease. Check chain, gearbox oil, wheel bearings, all that good stuff. Turf this thing out the shed. Actually, I should probably check this firefighter on the side too, just make sure that runs and starts and all that good stuff. Now, Luke was actually going to come around this afternoon, and I'll just show you guys on the ground here what we were going to do. We have got a brand new set of concaves here to go in the header, so I am really excited to put these in and run them. Hopefully they pay for themselves. Hopefully we have a better sample. They will increase efficiency, even just from the perspective of not having to change concaves over going to crops like beans. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. We were going to put these in today, but that's been pushed back to tomorrow. Luke's just got a bit of engineering to do on the Z-bar. I think it's called the Z-bar. That's basically what they connect up to, or where the height adjustment of the concaves is done. If you don't know much about them, when we put them in, I'll try and explain a little bit more, but we're not going to do that now. So that sort of freed me up this afternoon. I got a bunch of little jobs here to do. Might bring an auger in after this. Yeah, just trying to get things done before harvest starts, because I was thinking maybe they're probably not going to be ready, but Wednesday afternoon, what is it now? It is Monday the 10th of November, so a couple of days time. The peas will have been desiccated for about 14 days. We haven't had very good drying down weather, so Dad did bring some back this morning. They're probably still a little bit too soft, but I've got a couple of days still. Thursday we're expecting some rain, not a lot. They're saying maybe 1 to 5 mil, so it would be nice to have a crack at them before then and maybe even get them done, but if they won't go, they won't go. So anyway, like I said, plenty of little jobs to keep moving on with, and just need to keep getting them done. So let's get this thing done and turfed out of the shed first. Might drain this old fuel out the carby, put some fresh fuel in it, kick it in the guts, check the oil level first, and yeah, then it should be good. Not a lot of fuel in this thing anyway. Oh yeah, she's got oodles of oil in her, and it's squeaky clean too. We'll just leave that. She doesn't do it doesn't do any work, and that's the way I want it to stay, because if it's doing work, it means we got a fire in the paddock when we're harvesting, and that would be not a good situation. Fresh fuel. She's a runner. I'll just make sure this airfield hasn't got too much crap on it, since it probably just gets... I know the engine's not running, but there's still chaff and stuff blowing around everywhere. Oh yeah, we might give that a quick clean out, I reckon. That's a bit dirty. See all that foam on the outside? That's all just disintegrating into nothing, so I think it's time for a new air filter. Luckily, here's a side holstered spare that I have on the shelf here, so that's an easy job. Well, I'm kind of done with that chase bin for now. Well, I'm done with it. It's ready to go. Probably needs a few bits and pieces done to it, but time is of the essence, and yeah, she'll go. So anyway, I'm going to move on to this auger now, give this a grease and an oil change, and make sure she's ready to go for harvest too. How you going there, little buddy? I don't think you're going to make it, are you? I'm going to change out this hydraulic filter because, well, it's leaking like a sieve, and I don't think I've ever changed it, so maybe it was leaking because it wasn't very tight. That probably was the reason. I had quite a hard time finding a replacement filter for that one that was on there. It was a bit of a weird one. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. Oh, it does fit, you beauty. Yeah, I didn't oil the O-ring, but you know what? There'll be plenty of oil up there for it. Well, good morning everyone. Got the auger mostly done here yesterday. Just needs a new drive chain on the end of the auger. It was a bit stretched. Could adjust it up, but it had a bit of droop in it, so it was never going to be a real good thing. I'll have to chase up a couple of bits and pieces for that, but did get the header back in the shed this morning. We've got our covers off to our rotor. Luke should be here fairly soon, I would have thought, and yeah, we'll throw those in. We'll have the Z-bar that sits across here. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, if you're not aware or you're not familiar with these machines, basically here's our rotor. So this is what spins around and threshes the grain out of the crop. Then it falls down through onto our auger bed here, but we have our concaves that go down underneath, and they've got a bunch of little openings in them for the grain to fall through. That's what we're replacing, that section, or those sections that go across here. So we'll have to throw those in and then level them, and yeah, then this thing is actually completely done. So sounds like I can hear a vehicle coming in the driveway now. A very noisy vehicle. Got his stripper front on. Got to play around with that a bit today as well, I think. So anyway, yeah, that's the program. Well, that's the plan. Sorry, we're going to try and get that in and get that sorted out. Covers back on, and should be a good thing.
Hey man.
Morning. How you going?
Good.
Lovely. Excited?
Super excited.
Thought you might have eyeballed him the other day.
Beautifully made though. Far out.
Yeah, that was good.
Probably paid.
On the bar.
Yeah, probably paid. The wedges and pins are just down by your feet.
So much easier.
Alright.
I need to drop this separator grate down too to...
Oh, gee. Gotta spin it.
Yeah, I think that's as far as she'll go. What they say, start at the front.
Yep. Pretty easy going when you're creeping on billy toes.
Take you for a tour out to Belaley.
See some hills out.
So you reckon it got down to into the negative territory the other night? What, yours or?
The weather's like Meesenet was saying. Yeah.
How's everything look? All right?
Don't know. Didn't look. I'm not looking. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I've used that approach a couple of times this year, I think. Not even going to look.
No.
Bit of rust getting around, Henry. No worries. Thanks for letting me know. Well, that is another job done. Beautiful. Luke put his stripper front round. He's going to trial fit this up. He actually just widened it. I think it was 32 foot, and he's moved it out to 35 feet to match up with his air seeder. So anyway, big job. Looks good. So I finally got the auger out of the shed, and I thought I was just about done with it yesterday, and it turns out I really wasn't. I really wasn't. The harder I looked, the more I found. This fuse holder here, it had no lid on the fuse, had no eyelet on the end. That was just stuffed down into the battery terminal, so I thought I'll fix that while I'm in there. You don't need that coming loose and arcing out in a dry, dusty paddock that you're harvesting, and I don't need the truck driver going and the adjustable spout's not working, so we replaced that. I then looked at the battery terminal, and I could see that was broken all the way through, so it's not actually clamping. So again, you don't need that arcing out or coming loose during harvest and starting a fire or something like that. So I'm still not done with the auger. I've got to make that up, but we're going to get on with something else. I looked at the fuel filter. That hadn't been changed for ages. Changed that. And got the new chain on the top, and then I thought I should probably check the wheel bearings. Check the wheel bearings. They were loose as... again, don't need to lose a wheel or something during harvest and bring harvest to a grinding halt for something silly like that, because if you can't get the grain out, you can't keep harvesting. So it seems silly and it's boring, monotonous work, but you know, making sure the auger is relatively right to go, yeah, that's an important piece of harvest. So we'll make sure it's right. We're almost there, battery lead, and we'll get that done. So I just thought I'd give some context quickly to those of you who are new here, or you haven't been following along, or you know, you saw Luke come along this morning and help me out with those concaves, and he had his stripper front here, and what's his relationship to all of this? I probably don't really talk about it, or what's his relationship to our farm? I don't really talk about it all that much, but basically last year we set up a collaborative farming venture with their farm. We've put all of our harvest machinery together, and we used the one set of machinery to do the two farms, because we're both sort of in a similar boat. We were both harvesting similar acres. We're short on labour units, and yeah, that's the way we've decided to go with it. So this will be our second harvest this year doing this. Last year was an absolute bust in the drought, but it'll be a real test this year to see how it goes. We've got some reasonable crops out there. There's going to be a bit of grain to harvest, and we'll put this whole venture to the test. But needless to say, so far it has been going very well. I think both of us are very happy with how it's been going. And maybe ask us again in 2 years' time, maybe we'll hate each other. I don't really know, but no, you've got to give these things a go. It makes total sense in today's climate with the cost of machinery and labour and all these things, rising input costs. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. Stay tuned, and we'll see how it keeps panning out. So my next job is in the cab here, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I kind of want to do it so I can get it off my mind. But it's to do with the John Deere Ops Centre. If you don't know what John Deere Ops Centre is, I'm probably the worst person to explain it, but basically you can remotely monitor your machinery via an app or on your computer. You'll be able to see where they're up to in a paddock, how many hectares they've done, fuel in the tractor, all these sorts of things. There's be so much more than really what I know to do with it. But anyway, I haven't bothered setting this machine up on the Ops Centre. I did set up an account, but it won't link because this tractor has a 3G modem. They've turned off 3G. I need a 4G modem. It was $700, $800, $900 for a new modem, and I flat out refused to spend that since we were in a drought and things were pretty lean and pretty tight. It just seemed like a totally unnecessary expense. We've got one tractor on green steering, and it's just me and Dad, so I don't desperately need to know what's going on, but things have changed a little bit. We've got Green Star in the header now. I need my maps to be available on the screen in there. We want to link the two farms' ops centres together. So this tractor might spend time on Luke's farm, just the way that things work out. Running the chaser bin, his might spend time over here. Everything sort of needs to be linked, and so we want to get my maps off here up into the cloud or into the Ops Centre so we can link it all together and everything's available on the screen in there and whatnot. So I don't know how to do this. I think I need to get a USB or something in here, and we'll try and do it manually. We'll see how it goes. I've got to try and figure it out anyway. So I think maybe I'm going to fluke this. I just went into File Manager, Export, Custom Export. We want to export to a USB. Client Farm Field. Let's do that. All data. Okay, where do I put the USB? I have one in here. Is that it? I think I had it in the wrong orifice. It's doing something now. I think that's done. If I can spit it out, that was probably a little bit easier than I thought. Got a quick road trip. Just going to drop this off to our Ops Centre guru. See if we can get that sorted out. Then we might turn around and go and have a look at these peas and make a call on them. See what we're going to do. Alrighty, that is taken care of, so we'll start the trek out the other side of town now. Well, these peas are supposed to stand up, but I think we're going to need the lifters on. They're not too bad in some spots. Like you can see here, and even going up that way, they're not too bad. And then you look out there and you think, yeah, no, we'll be needing the lifters for those. Anyway, do have a moisture meter here, so we'll grab a few pods off the bottom, I suppose, and see what they come up with. We've rubbed out a few, and they're going to be too high. I think they're sitting at 14% on this tester, and this thing's not, see 14%, this thing's not the most accurate either. I think it's usually 1 to 2% under what it's actually reading, so yeah, I think unfortunately I just don't think they'll even dry down enough tomorrow with the temperatures. Problem is, if we miss tomorrow, we got 1 to 5 mil on Thursday, which isn't much, and then we got a few showers possible on Friday. Saturday's supposed to be dry, possible showers Sunday, possible showers Monday. So you can see the dilemma here. That's sort of why I wanted to try and get out here, but yeah, I think unfortunately, if we had have had 1 or 2 decently warm days in the last sort of 2 weeks, I think they would go, but there's been some drizzly rain, some cold days. Even today, I haven't taken my jumper off all day. They said it was supposed to be 25 degrees, but when I checked it was 18, so just not getting those drying down days at the moment. Give them the chew test as well. Yeah, they're just, it's breaking apart, but it just feels a little rubbery still in the mouth, and I suspect they're just a few percent over, unfortunately. I don't know, I'll have a chat with Dad. Not supposed to be any warmer tomorrow. Don't really want to bring the machine up here if it's just going to sit up here and get rained on for 2 or 3 days. Not that it's a lot of rain, but it's still just annoying. Rather just leave it in the shed, come up here when we know we're right. Yeah. Almost tastes green too still. So anyway, I'd kind of expect those to be rock hard and really crack when you chew on them, or not even, I don't know, probably find them hard to crack them with my teeth. The sheep manage to do it. I don't know how they do it, but they do. Had the windrower asking me about the canola this morning. How's that looking? When are we going to windrow that? Well, I know one paddock is a long way away, but while we're driving past this one, we might as well have a look. So what we're looking for is black seed, and as you can see, there is no black seed in there at all yet. So I'd say we're still a while away. Yeah, still green seed, very green. Now, as you can see, we have cut a few strips here along this fence line, and well, we're obviously going to turn it into hay, but it was for this fibre optic cable that they've been putting in. Runs right down through our property, down through here, and then heads out near the road and goes back through our property again. So we just cut these strips along here just to make it easier for them to basically cover over where they're trenching in the fibre optic cable. If there's a big long canola crop there and a bunch of root balls and all sorts of other stuff, make it a bit hard for them, if I can spit it out, to smooth it off. So we did cut a bit along the fence here. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Dad did rake some out of the way, but it's looking awfully ugly. Believe it or not, I am not actually driving this old firefighter Triton because I enjoy the ride. I'll show you guys when we get back why. Looking a bit messy back here, isn't it? Ouch. Ouch. Another quick job before harvest, eh? As you can see, the cylinder head is off the engine. Basically what it's been doing is pushing combustion gases into the cooling system, and then especially on a hot day, the overflow bottle here, it just pumps all the coolant out of that, pumps heaps of coolant out of the radiator into the overflow bottle, then out of the overflow bottle into the engine compartment, and then you end up with all this white, dried, stained coolant marks around the front side of the ute. So it's either got to be a cracked head or a blown head gasket. I actually couldn't see much wrong with it, but I've already done a head on this ute once before when it had a different engine in it. They're pretty prone to cracking, so I'm just going to roll with the fact that it's got a crack in the head somewhere where I can't see it, and I got a new head there. They're pretty cheap, about $1,000 for a new head with a gasket kit and the bolts, and that probably says something in and of itself that they're so easy to buy aftermarket and quite cheap. And yeah, it's cheap, but I don't care. I don't care. It's an old ute, so I just want to keep it running. And I need it for harvest, so another job before harvest. Well, I think I might shuffle a couple of things around here and then get that header back in the shed. And then I'm going to call it a day because I've well and truly had enough for another day. So with all that being said, just want to give a massive shout out to our video sponsor, Market Check. If you are a farmer and you're looking for help with your grain marketing, be sure to go and check those guys out. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have yourselves a good one. Until next time, see ya.